Welcome everybody. We are now in our last 4 weeks, last section of our yoga series. So hopefully you've enjoyed it so far and gotten some insights and even learning. Welcome to your last section of Yin Yoga. Hopefully you've already got a chance to view the video on the explanation. So recap, everything's done on the mat. There's no flow. Also, we are sitting in each pose at least a minimum of 2 to 5 minutes. So it's a lot of sitting, centering the mind. This is a good time to focus on that breathing meditation practice. So find a place that is not distracting and that you can sit in your pose for a long period of time. What you'll need, your mat, you'll need blocks. It is required for this week. So if you don't have blocks, grab towels that you can wrap, or blankets are good as well. Something that elevates, because it's going to be used as a support system as we move into our poses. All right, to get started, this one's an option, and I'll also let you know which ones are optional versus what is when you'll need your equipment. I'm going to start by placing the block underneath me so I can sit on it. Doing this will allow my knees to kind of fall forward and a little stretching through the hips. So that's kind of up to you on how you want to sit. If you want to sit just on your mat, crisscross style, you can join me there as well. So settling into your seated position, go ahead and just think about crown of the head, that string pulling up to lengthen the spine. Arms are just resting on your thighs and knees. Go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to start focusing on that breathing. No specific way of breath, just nice deep inhale through the nose, inhaling out through the nose or mouth. And as we're sitting here, I want you to focus on the same length of time as you inhale is also how long it takes for you to exhale. Also, think about having a pause at the bottom as you exhale out, and a pause once you fully inhale before you exhale. Focusing on deep breathing, inhaling as much oxygen as you can into those lungs until you can't no longer. Hold, and then slowly let it all go until your lungs are fully empty. Little pause before you re-inhale. Reimagining that string, lengthening the spine, nice and tall chest. Checking in with your body. Now, not allowing the upper body to cave forward. Got a couple more breaths here. Slowly open those eyes. All right, if you're sitting on a block like I am, go ahead and release that block. We're gonna come into our supported bridge. So for this one, our knees are bent. We're gonna be laying on our backs, and we're gonna place the block right at that low back where our tailbone is. And here, we're gonna be here for a few minutes, at least 2 minutes. So with air here, the goal here is just a little back extension. Again, you can also rotate and make the block higher if you'd like to feel a little bit further of that back bend. Arms are going to be rested by the side. And as we're here, if you slowly want to extend out the legs, you can do so nice and slowly with your breath. And if you want any additional stretching through the chest, you can place the arms overhead, wrapping towards opposite elbows. Nice deep breathing here. Again, as you continue to breathe, it's up to you, whatever feels good for you. You can keep the knees bent, but if you'd like, slowly start extending those legs out. Focusing on those breaths, nice deep inhale, long exhales out. Eyes are closed, that way you can focus on your deep breathing. Nice deep breaths. Slowly, if your arms are overhead, start bringing them back towards your side. And then we're going to slowly start bringing the knees in. All right. And then lift up the hips so you can release your block, towel or blanket, whichever you're using. All right, next up is our recline butterfly. So for this one, we're keeping our backs flat, laying on the mat, but we're gonna let the knees roll out to the side. So for this one, placing the blocks on either side to help support. As you start feeling of a deeper stretch, you can go ahead and start releasing more of that block to the point where you want it to be free hanging. I'm going to start with just a little bit of support, placing my hand on my belly or the other one's on my heart. Focusing on that breath. Nice deep breathing through our bellies, expanding those chests. Having those feet press together, letting the knees roll out to the sides. Eyes are closed to relax the face. More of those blocks, letting the knees fall out more. On that breath as you inhale and exhale out. Matching the length of your inhalation to how you exhale the air out. you're noticing pain or strain in your hips due to letting the knees out, like, or rolling out to the sides with no support, placing that block, towel, or blanket back underneath. It's important to do if you're feeling that pain. Your arms to help bring the knees in nice and slowly into your chest, and a little rock side to side. All right, next up is supported fish. So for this one, you're gonna want a block that's gonna support the spine, and then the other block that's gonna support the head. So it kind of looks like this. So I'm placing the block here, starting at my tailbone, and then the other one behind me, just to measure. My knees are gonna be bent to begin. I'm gonna kind of set it down. Remember, you can do different variations if you want. You can even have one long ways to kind of add more of an arch support. So go ahead and place your blocks how you want it. Arms by the sides to begin, and knees bent. As we're here and breathing, if you'd like, you can continue to keep your knees bent. You can even bring them in. Slowly extend them out. Refocusing, keeping that focus on that breath. Arms can stay by your sides, or if you want more of that shoulder stretch, arms out into a L in cactus arms. Keep focusing on that breathing. Arms by the side are in the cactus position. Legs are either straight now or they're still bent. That's up to you. Upper body should feel supported. We're letting gravity kind of work here for us as we're feeling those stretches with little effort and work. start by bringing our arms back to the side if they are in cactus position. If your knees or legs are straight, start to bend the knees. And then we'll slowly use our hands to kind of help us up. Good. And give your knees a little bit of a hug. All right, very good. Next up is our forward fold. So for this one, similar to what we've been doing, but a difference in the sense now we have a block. You can again use a towel or a blanket, placing it on top. Inhale, we'll bring the arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to now round the spine, let the arms kind of hold here as the upper body comes down. The goal is that we want to try to see if we can bring that head down onto a block to allow the upper body to just relax. We don't want it to be hanging heavy on just in free space. We want it resting on something. So the block is there. Arms can be rested by the sides if you'd like, or placing lightly on your legs. And as we continue to breathe here, the goal is a lengthening of the spine. And as you get deeper into that stretch, you want to see if you can switch the side of the block and see if you can get that head to meet it. Because we're in here for a few minutes, so as we continue to hold in each position, the goal is to get a little deeper into that stretch. You can even grab opposite elbows as you rest here. Letting the face relax. Refocusing on that deep breath, allowing the body to lengthen and relax. Nice deep breaths. Try to avoid any type of holding your breath. Keep focusing on your deep breathing. If you notice your mind starting to wander somewhere else, refocus and bring it back. Checking in with our bodies, seeing what's showing up for us, and then also what's slowly going away the further we are in each pose. Alright, we're going to use your hands nice and gently, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly bring back that upper body. Alright, good job. right, good job. Next up is Sphinx pose. So for this one, we won't need any equipment. So we're gonna flip on over onto our bellies, lying flat, and we're gonna have our forearms resting onto the mat, creating that L, so palms facing down, fingertips forward, and then just lifting up the chest. So the further out your arms go makes it easier. The closer you bring them in makes it a little bit more challenging. I'm thinking of pushing my hips down onto the mat, keeping that chest up and pulling those shoulder blades down and back. And while I'm here, breathing, relaxing that face, you can go ahead and close the eyes if you'd like. You want to think about stretching through or working through a little bit of the back, arms. The legs are nice and relaxed here. Shoulders towards our ears, down and away. Good. Keep breathing here. If you want, you can go ahead and start dropping that head and neck. Let that chin roll into the chest. Slowly bring that head up, and if you'd like, go ahead and straighten out those arms, push them down to allow the chest to come up a little higher. Gazing forward as you breathe. Here. Nice deep breathing. Good, and then slowly release down. All right, we're coming into Child's Pose next. So the way we're doing Child's Pose, knees, feet together. We're gonna sit nice and low and then place our hands behind us towards our feet, dropping that forehead onto the mat and just releasing the upper body. Relaxing that face on the mat, if we're thinking about just melting the body away as you're taking those deep breaths. Trying to sit more towards your heels. Try to connect the glutes to the heels as best as you can. Letting the upper body relax. And just as needed.
continue that focus with your breathing. Now slowly bring those hands forward so we can hold you
Slowly up. All right. Next up is our pigeon. So this is where we're going to start with that right foot forward, bringing out that knee bend, and then we're going to drop that back leg straight. So starting in a tall pigeon where our upper body is nice and tall. This is where if you did want to add a block because your hips are too high, or a towel or a blanket to place where that gap is, you can do so. And we're just here, nice and tall, facing forward to start letting gravity, again, pulling down towards the mat. As you breathe, and close your eyes here. Focusing on that breath. All right, we're going to slowly begin bringing that upper body down and forward. Coming onto your forearms, you can rest here, placing that block in front of you like how I'm doing, so you can drop that head and neck and let it just hang heavy and rest on the block. And as you continue to be here, you can slowly see if you can get your whole chest and head to rest on the mat. By extending those arms forward, dropping that forehead onto the mat. As we're here and breathing. Focus with the breath. We've got about 1 more minute on the side.
Now slowly start bringing the arms in. We're going to slowly bring the upper body up. And we're going to roll onto that right side. We can bend that back knee, coming into deer, where we create 90 degrees with the front leg, 90 degrees with the back leg. We're going to lean behind us, that way we can stretch through the hip. And we're allowing, again, just nice deep breaths. 90-degree bend with that front and with the back. Now I'm feeling it through more towards that left hip. It's a little bit more tight. So position like I am, leaning back. And if you want, you can relax the eyes and breathe. Think about driving the hip down as you lean back. Feel it more in that outer part of your hip. Allow that body to sink a little deeper into that stretch. Calming the mind with your deep breaths. 1 more minute here. Slowly bring yourself forward, and nice and gently bringing your feet in front and across. Our arms come forward so we can send our leg back. Now left knee is forward, right leg behind us. Standing up nice and tall to begin first. Remember, you can place that towel or blanket or block underneath you if you like. Standing tall, gazing forward to start. In our tall position, and now we're on our left side. Good. Focusing on that deep breathing. Keeping those shoulders down and away from the ears. Start bending the elbows and coming down to the forearms. Use that block if you want, placing it in front of you so you can rest the forehead down. To see if you can slowly start extending out those arms in front of you, resting that forehead down onto the mat. Letting that chest relax and melt into the mat. About one more minute here. Continue to focus on that breath, checking in on the mind and body. Go ahead and start bringing in the arms slowly, helping your head and neck and upper body come up. And then we're going to come into our 90-90 deer pose, 90 degrees with the legs, and then dropping and leaning back. Now you can think about pressing that right hip down, feeling that stretch to the side. And again, if you'd like, you can close those eyes, refocusing on that breath. The body just lengthen and deeper into that stretch. Nice and long inhale, and same nice and long exhale. pressing the hip down onto the mat, leaning back with your hands. Slowly bring yourself up. And bring your feet forward. And we're going to let them fall side to side into our seated windshield wipers. So this one we're going to be doing nice and gently. A little pause once you hit the one side on the floor and then switch to the other. Seeing what shows up for you here. Moving side to side with a good long pause at the bottom. Feeling that through the hips. A couple more times. And this I can leave it up to you as far as pacing. You don't have to match my speed. If you're feeling like one side needs more attention than the other, you can hold a little longer if you'd like. Here. Focusing on that breath. Yourself back to center. All right, for this one, we're going to come onto our knees. So we've got our hero's pose, which is that deep quad stretch where the knees are close together, while the feet and ankles are out to the side. The goal is to sit down onto in between your heels. If you can't do that, you can grab a block and sit down on the block. Right here, I'm going to scoop myself a little bit more forward that way. I can slowly bring my body back. So if you're doing this without, if you're sitting on your knees, or in between your heels, the goal is to slowly lean back in our reclined hero and then slowly bring our hands overhead. So I'll do that in the slow motion. Goal first is to get comfortable sitting in between your heels. This is aggressive for your knee, hips, ankles. Using that block for support. It's very handy. going back doesn't feel good, you're more than happy to just hang out in that seated position. Once you're reclined back, you can grab hold of opposite elbows if you'd like. Even placing a second block if you want to help with that arch support. Overhead, grabbing hold of opposite elbows if that feels good for you. And this should feel a slight discomfort in the sense that you're lengthening and elongating, but no pain. Using the elbows to help you lift up nice and slowly. You want to move too fast. And then we're going to slowly lift. Release the block into that tabletop position. Taking a second here. Table. Seeing the head and neck. Crossing the legs, we can sit and we can extend those legs out in front. All right, coming into our final pose, Savasana. So as we extend those legs out in front of us, coming down onto the mat. Relaxing the upper body, arms by the side, and closing the eyes, focusing on that breath as you begin to relax that face, releasing tension in the forehead, shoulders start to melt into the mats. Your spine, your hips, fingertips curl in naturally, letting the feet roll out to the sides. Continue to lay here in stillness as you focus on your breath until I awake you. As you slowly awaken, start by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Roll to one side, creating a pillow with the arm underneath, stacking the knees together. Taking a breath here. And then gently push you up into a seated position.
Namaste. Good job, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your first class of Yin Yoga. All right, we'll see you in the day 2. I didn't like that. All right, everybody. Namaste. Good job today. Way to make it through your first day, and we'll see you all in the next video.